Here we go. This is literally a minute ago. This is hot off the press for you guys. General gameplay changes. Anti-tank rifles, the Panzergrenadiers, and the AT rifles from the boys sections. Range has been decreased by 5. Weapon cooldown modifier when suppressed increased by 50%, which means that if they are suppressed, they're going to not be firing their AT rifles, not as nearly as much, which is good. So you can use that and get your vehicles in there to do a lot of damage because they'll take a lot of time to fire between shots. If they are suppressed, that is. Auto reverse distance. The distance a player can now right click to issue an automatic reverse command without using the auto has been set from 20 to 60. This should help with I guess pathing and units vehicles just showing their ass to the front line. Barbed wire armors increased from 1 to 10. Hopefully that means that barbed wire will not be killed by small arms as much as we've been experiencing in the past. Bunkers. Wehrmacht bunkers Africa machine guns build time standardized at 20 seconds. It would be nice to know how much the build time was overall, what it's been changed to, but there you go. Button. Wehrmacht Flak 30 US gun carriage and the MG team. Button has been overhauled to be less punishing. Button vehicles can now fight back but no longer be immobilized, allowing them to maneuver or retreat. Belonging to disables weapons. Button now reduces sight by 50% and speed by 25%. Speed penalties increase to 50% on penetrating hits. Okay, so this would mean, on smaller armed vehicles, the button would do a lot more, will slow the vehicle a lot more than something more heavily armored like a Panzer IV or a Tiger, for instance. And duration set to 15 seconds. Indicator now added. The ability is active. Recharge time 120. Forward reinforcement times. Reinforcement time off in combat units located 45 meters away from the HQ has been increased by 100%, so double the amount of time for a total of 200%. So that would what? So is that 3 times more? Or at least, if that's correct, if I'm thinking right, it'll take, twice as long, but 3 times in total, I believe, for a unit to reinforce in combat away from base, which is huge. Reinforce times if unit gets 50 minutes just increased by 100%. So that's pretty, 200%, dude. That's going to take a long time. So it's going to really nerf something that I like doing, which is being aggressive on the field with my med truck and stuff, is the DAC. So we'll see how that goes. Just twice, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it'll take 3 times as long as, twice as long overall, but if it'll feel like 3 times as long. Anyway, ignore that. Mobility tank guns, here we go. Will hit objects and terrain significantly less. Horizontal traverse speed from 16 to 24. Aim time decreased from 0.5 to... Oh, wow. So the aim time has been reduced massively. So they should be able to get shots off a lot faster. Traverse speed is also increased. They'll be able to turn and shoot much faster now. Build time standard 40 seconds. Reinforcement time standard 5 seconds. Accuracy at long range increased by 7. So anti-tank guns getting a big buff to their ability to hit and fire, just be firing faster here, but nothing about their health making them harder to hit or anything like that. So they'll still be very easy to decrew, but they'll be a little bit more effective and actually firing and getting shots off. So for instance, if you've got like a rad that tries to flank it around the side, anti-tank will be able to turn and shoot it before the rad can get past its firing arc, kind of thing now. And previously it wouldn't be able to turn and shoot it before the rad got past it, for instance. Mobile heavy machine guns, cost standardized to 240 manpower. Crew health increased from 80 to 90, so a bit more survivability there. Horizontal traverse speed, so they increased the speed on the MG's turn time, which also was quite slow. Infantry now become pinned around 17% faster. Reinforcement time was sustained on 5 seconds. Suppression radius increased, so it's going to be better against blobs. Suppression recovery now takes 3 seconds longer. Okay, because that was definitely something in Code 2. Suppression actually took a long time to took a long time to recover from suppression. Code 3, it was almost immediate. As soon as the MG stopped firing, it would take like 1 second or so, and then they'll be back up and firing again. This will allow you on machine guns to maybe suppress, unpack, maybe pull away, and then repack up again, and then start firing before the enemy infantry has recovered from suppression, potentially. So we'll have to test that out, but that's good. So definitely big buff to machine guns. Smoke duration decreased from 30 to 20 seconds. Okay, yeah, so that's good. So that's again nerfing against Pathfinder smoke. It's just obviously smoke in general. But yeah, so that's quite a good change. I think yeah, that's probably 20 seconds is long enough actually. So yeah, nerfing it by that is fine. Snipers, so aim time standardized. So this means both the American sniper and the German sniper has the same aim time, I believe. Target size increased as well. So I think that means they're a bit easier to hit with certain things. Their vision range decreased. Actually, so that's a very big nerf to their range. They're not going to be as good at spotting stuff, actually. Normally, you'd like a sniper as a scout unit, maybe not as much now. Weapon cooldown increased as well. So basically, the American sniper and the Wehrmacht sniper hopefully will be on par with each other now. So in the past, the American sniper would always beat the German sniper because it would be faster firing. You'd be able to line the shot and shoot off before the German sniper could. So they should be even Stevens now. Right, on to the Americans. The truck, the 30 cal machine gun lethality is increased. Self-repair is increased. Self-repair increased. Military ability capture, okay. Advanced logistics manpower cost reduced by 50. Assault engineers a little bit cheaper, 2 manpower cheaper to reinforce. The bazooka team, the destroy obstacle ability damage penalty against infantry is increased from 25 to 75. Okay, hang on. The destroyed obstacle ability damage penalty against infantry is increased from 25 to 75. So I guess it doesn't do as much damage now against infantry because people were using that because it had a really short cooldown and you could use it to do a lot of damage against infantry. So I think that's been nerfed. White phosphorus rocket ability is increased by only 5 munitions. Okay. Engineer reinforcement time has also been decreased slightly. Sorry, not time. Sorry, just the cost has gone down. So it's just engineers across the set normal. The specialized engineers and normal engineers are just a bit cheaper now to reinforce. Grenade package 10 fuel cheaper. Research time also a bit shorter, 5 seconds. The armor piercing rounds on the Sherm and the Hellcat can no longer pierce through shot blocking obstacles. HVAP rounds can now use the reload times the parent vehicle's main weapon. This is the general load time increase of 1 second, resulting in increased rate of fire. Okay. The Scott, the mortar. Oh, is this the Scott? No, I don't think so. No, it's not the Scott. It's the upgraded half tractor, the gun mortar carriage. Aim time decreased, so it should be able to set up and shoot a lot faster. It's the same thing with the anti-tank guns having an issue to set up and aim time. Hopefully, this will be the same kind of change with the 221 as well, with its AT rifle upgrade. So we'll see if that is the change that's been applied there. Barrage range decreased, so it can't fire as far. The recharge time has been decreased, so it fires faster. Penetration decreased, so it doesn't actually pen as much. Because you used to be able to use this against like tigers, and it would be very good against actually penning tigers. So it won't be as reliable at doing that now. For instance, reload time decreased. 4/fire, which is okay, so it's a bit faster to refire. And rotation is also been increased, so it should be able to turn on the spot and stuff and look at it and shoot targets a lot easier. So that's definitely going to get a decent. I think overall that's probably a buff to the unit. I think maybe not as good as something like a Tiger because you'd probably be wanting to use your anti-tank gun or your Hellcat against the Tiger rather than that. But it's still going to be pretty damn good now. Just the half track. Okay, so the conversion is actually a little bit cheaper by 50 munitions now. Manpower cost. Also been a bit cheaper, 20 manpower cheaper. Non-converted from converted now. Gain shared veterancy. The Dozer has been cheaper by 20 manpower. The Greyhound. Coaxial machine gun lethality been increased by 10% at all ranges. The Pincer machine gun has increased. So yeah, so the machine guns are going to do a lot better. And it's a little bit faster now, a little bit more nippy. Not much more nippy, but a little bit faster. So yeah, its main gun not been changed, but it's the machine guns that are actually going to be pretty damn decent now against infantry. A little bit better there. So there you go. That's the change to the Greyhound. The Scott, the minimum barrage range has increased from 15 to 10, so it can shoot closer towards itself. Cost decreased from 320 manpower, 60 fuel to 280, so it's 40 manpower cheaper and 10 fuel cheaper. High explosive barrage reload time decreased from 3 to 4 to okay, so it's going to be able to fast fire that. Horizontal weapon traverse speed from 30 to 45. Reload time decreased. 4.5 against is faster. Traverse speed as well. So yeah, be able to turn and shoot faster. Vertical weapon traverse as well. Okay, cool. So it's Scott overall. I don't think I built a single Scott yet because I think I saw it. Someone else used it and it was terrible, so I never built it. But now, maybe worth getting, I guess. We'll have to try it out. The M16, multiple gun mortar carriage. Armor has been decreased, so it's going to be a lot more susceptible to small arms fire and things like that, I would imagine. Now prioritize vehicles ability, which is good. Damage against aircraft decreased by 77.5%. Okay, that's very good as well. So this thing used to be able to insta-shoot down planes, so now it's going to take a while to shoot down a plane. So at least the first strafing run from like a loiter or things like that will be able to connect before they get shot down. So that's been seriously. It's still going to maybe shoot down planes, but it's still not going to be nowhere near as good at doing it. No way near. It's going to probably take maybe a whole minute now, I would say, for it to get a kill on a plane. So yeah, it's not going to be no good. Not nearly as good now. I'm curious to see about the weapon. Okay, the penetration's been decreased as well, so it's not going to be as good. Okay, this is its close range damage. Hang on, let me just double check this. Okay, yeah, so it's medium and long range damage is not going to be as good. So if you're like kiting with maybe I don't know, like a 250 or something, it won't like kill it as fast now. The M16, which is good. So or even just like I guess any kind of like lightly armored vehicle, so it won't be as good at longer range. Close range, it still have the same amount of damage, about penetration, sorry, but longer ranges it'll have a harder time. The Chaffee acceleration, faster, and deceleration is good as well, so it can stop and start a lot quicker. I think manpower has been it's 20 manpower cheaper now as medium vehicle pathing and medium crush. So no, this is something I think it should have had because it's a tank after all. It's maybe not a great tank, but it is a tank, and it will now be able to crush walls and stone walls and things. So it'll be able to get through and maybe chase down those light vehicles like the Rad or something a lot easier now, hopefully. Rotation rate from 35 to 40, so it would be able to turn a bit faster and acquire targets quicker. When this is medium vehicle pathing, I wonder what this means. It's a bit vague. I wonder if if it's on medium vehicle pathing, will it probably maybe ignore the chance to use roads as much as like normal vehicles that can't. I'm not really entirely sure what medium vehicle pathing means. Maybe somebody in chat or someone in the comment sections can maybe better explain what that is, but that is it's a new kind of type, I guess. Reload time decrease. It's going to be able to fire faster by a very short amount. It's not much faster. Speed as well. Max speed is a little bit, so a bit faster now. So hopefully it might be able to get away from maybe chasing Panzer 4s or Panzer 3s and stuff like that. I'm not actually sure what the speed is of a Panzer 4 or 3 at the top of my head, but I imagine it'll be a bit more nippy. Should be able to get in there, kill the target, and get out before getting chased down and killed. Maybe. Bars. Here we go. Research time decreased by 15 seconds. That's quite a big reduction in time there. The machine gun is also 15 seconds quicker to build as well. Rifleman, pour it on. Browning from long range lethality is increased by 15 and mid 5, so they'll be better at mid and long range. Pour it on ability, area suppression removed, recharge time 3 minutes now rather than 2. Weapon suppression adjusted changes are general decreased. Browning also suppression decreased. So I think it's only going to be working on one target. Like the support on is only going to be like suppressing one target rather than multiple targets now, kind of thing. Survival training, fuel cost. 30 fuel cheaper. That's a pretty big change. Health now applies to weapon crews. Interesting. Team weapon crews. I'm not sure which one this is, actually. I've not really played Americans too much with some of their upgrades, so I need to double check this, but that's pretty interesting. Health increase now applies to team weapon crews. I would like to know exactly how much more health they gain, actually. I'll have to test that out. The Easy-8 Sherman. To differentiate the Easy-8 Sherman from regular Sherman, the high-velocity armor pressing guns now comes as default, while also returning the regular Sherman veterancy capabilities. Okay, cool. Might make them a lot better against armor, I guess we'll see. Sherman Whizbang, cost reduced. It's now 20 manpower cheaper and 20 fuel cheaper. No changes to its range. There's also one population down. Okay, it's got a buff, but still, I don't know, man. I might have given it maybe 5 extra range or something, personally. I don't know. I think the Whizbang could have done with a little bit of extra range. Not much, but okay. My microphone went out. Can you still hear me? It looks like my microphone's transmitting. Yeah. Is it still working, guys? Yeah. Just give me a yeah. I'm fine. Okay. U.S. forces battle groups, armored battle group, rapid production command point decreased from 1 to 0, so you can get it straight away. So I wonder if this means allow you to get your. I don't know if this is a passive or a cost munitions. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if it's a passive, it means you can be able to get your Jeep out. You'll be able to build it a lot faster, I imagine, so you can get it on the field a little bit faster if you choose to decide to do that first. Seek and destroy. It's been increased, so that's where that CP has gone. It's gone to there because that was very good buff to armor. Strength and steel decreased 2 to 1, so that's been a bit cheaper. Field repairs has been reworked. Ability duration increased by 15 seconds. Health restore per seconds increased, so it's actually does a, and munitions cost also cheaper. When activate if the vehicle is on the move. Okay, so that's something similar to what the Americans had in Co 1. I think you could pop it on, your vehicles will just automatically repair while on the move. I don't know if it doesn't say they will be able to repair in combat. I imagine not, because if they were able to repair in combat, that'd be pretty broken. But it has had a big buff. Hey, Cody, thanks for the raid, buddy. How you doing? We're just going through the patch notes. Actually, look to me, we've got some pretty good changes so far. We're just quickly going through the patch notes. The Sherman Combat Group has specifically reduced to reflect the capabilities of the EZ8 Sherman. Its time expedition in the back group. Cost decreased 800 manpower, 120 fuel to 640 manpower and 100 fuel. Okay. And it's been decreased by 1 CP, so it'll be able to come on the field a little bit faster. The Sherman EZ8 will now enter the field carrying a Vet 1 level assault engine squad instead of the standard rifleman squad. Okay. Probably would prefer that, because by that point you've already got a lot of riflemen and you want the extra engineer squad so you can repair the tank that you just brought on the field. It doesn't, you normally want to always get a couple of engineer squads anyway, so actually that's not bad. Special operations battle group. Sherman Whizbang command point cost decrease from 6 to 5 as well. Okay, so the Whizbang. Okay, should be able to get, so there's a couple of buffs to the Whizbang. That as well. So you'll be able to get out a little bit faster as well now. And it's cheaper. And it doesn't take up as much population cap. Right, on to the Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht, here we go. The 251, conversion to Stummel is decreased by 30 munitions. Big change. Actually didn't really see the Stummel up very much at all. So this would be interesting, because maybe we might see more use of the Stummel here. Kind of like a really crappy version of a Brumbar in terms of it's obviously not as tanky, but hey, it might be worth it. It might be like the Stug D for the Wehrmacht kind of thing. We'll have to see how it goes. Non-converted form now gains a shared veterancy. Regal mines now properly camouflage and trigger. Regal mine damage increased from 300 to 500. Okay, that's sick. So that's going to do a lot more damage against armor. So, think of something more like a telemine. That should be cool. So I'll do, let's say you could probably pop it down. Greyhound tries to chase you, it may get one-shotted due to that mine. I'm actually not sure how much the health of the Greyhound is, but it will severely cripple it and probably give it an engine damage if it doesn't outright kill it. Regal mine deployment time from 11.5 seconds to 7.5, so it actually deploys them a lot faster. 221, this is something that we never saw. Cost is now much cheaper. It's 60 manpower cheaper, and it's 5 fuel cheaper. The accuracy of the AT rifle upgrade for it is actually considerably increased, which is nice, but its speed has also gone up. It's a lot more nippier, which is awesome. However, there's nothing here in these notes that say that the aim time of this AT rifle, the Panzer Bush, or however you pronounce it, because that's always been an issue with it to try to pick a target. It would turn, line it up, and the enemy would move, and it would do some awkward turning. And that doesn't seem in the patch notes that has been fixed. So it might be, when it actually fires a shot, it might be more accurate. But actually lining up the shot initially, well, I think it's still going to have that same issue, unfortunately. But hey, maybe that'll get fixed in a later patch. Who knows? Full Shimiga FG40 aim time is. That seems to have been nerfed by the looks of it. If that's anything to go by. So it's going to be. They're going to take a bit longer for them to get their guns up and start shooting. So a bit of a nerf to the Fallschirmjägers, if that's correct. If I've read that correctly. Thanks to the followers, guys. Shadow and The Rock. Fallschirm Pioneers. Reinforcement costs increased by 2 manpower. Okay, this was like a strat people would just spam these in. So now there's a bit of a nerf to that kind of strategy. Not a huge change, but a bit of a nerf. Black 30, build time decreased by 5 seconds, so you can be able to get that out a little bit faster. Grenadiers have received several adjustments to slightly improve their performance. Good. The assault package has been increased by only 5 munitions. Assault package sprint, munitions cost removed, so they can now sprint for free. Sick. Sprinting charge time. Excuse me. Increased. Okay, so it takes a lot longer for them to sprint now. 3 minutes in total, shit. Manpower cost decreased from 270 to 260, so a little bit cheaper grens in total. Medic healing duration increased by 30 seconds. Good. Medic healing rate per second reduced from 8 to 6, but overall it's still a buff, I would say. It just takes a little bit longer. Yeah, they'll probably heal for... So a squad that's low on health, hopefully we'll be able to, you know, heal fully now rather than only halfway or maybe 75% of the way with this change. Veteran level 2 bonus modifier increase from 10 to 15. Okay, so they're going to be better when they're vet 2. And they vet up faster now as well. Okay, interesting. See how they work out. Hull down. Ability has been delayed. Hull down bonuses are activated 10 seconds after ability is triggered, so you're not going to get the ability. Okay, that's fair. You can't just insta hull down and get a benefit from it. So you can't panic hull down basically, which is good. An indicator was added to represent the count before the bonus triggers. Okay, the Jaegers. Here we go. Capture and decapture rate decreased from 150% to 125% to 133 to 100. Smoke range has been reduced by 10, so they can't lob the nades out. Sight range has also been nerfed a little bit. Reconnaissance package now increased visions by 7, so they get their vision back when they get the G43s, and they get their old capture rate back. So basically, if you're going for the G43s, they'll act as what they have been acting as beforehand. But if you go for the Shrek upgrade, they're going to be a bit nerfed, kind of thing, in terms of their capture rate, which is okay. Panzer Shreks, though, extra against infantry is decreased by 50%, so the Shreks themselves aren't going to just absolutely smash infantry now. They'll be a little more likely to miss. Area effect damage removed, so they're not going to do AoE damage on clumped up units. Long range time multiply increased from 50 to 100%, so they're going to take a lot longer now, twice as long at max range to fire off their rocket, which is interesting. So you can't quickly fire off at max range and run away. You have to actually get closer to be able to get the rocket off a bit faster. Ready time has also been increased as well. So in general, they're going to take longer from all ranges. Scatter increased rockets. Should no longer reliably scatter into vehicles at long ranges. Okay. Wonder how that's going to affect attack ground at long range. The Marder, long range, okay, the Wehrmacht Marder has been buffed. It's actually better at long range. The MG time has been reduced by 1 second. Research time decreased from 50 seconds. So, Luftwaffe. So, this is all the officer upgrades. So, you get the Vet 1 upgrade and increased veterancy gain rate. So, that's just made it a bit cheaper. The Panzer IV command tank acceleration increased and decelerations, yeah. It also increased speed. Okay, it's a bit faster as well, the Panzer IV. The PGs, manpower, 20 manpower cheaper. The Stug, nothing else changed. I think they're all decent fighting unit as it is, but a little bit cheaper overall. Stug 3, we have made changes to Stug 3. Acceleration, increased. Cost, massively, okay, 60 manpower cheaper, though it has got 10 extra fuel cost. Okay. Interesting. Deceleration increased from 3 to 4. Long range accuracy has been buffed by a very small amount. Rotation rate increased, so I could be able to turn on the spot and shoot a bit faster, which is good. That's a big change there. 10. Reload time decreased as well. Be able to fire a little bit faster. Nice. Weapon penetration increased as well. Close range, good damage. 250. That's huge. 180, so medium range will be able to do the same as what it did currently at its close range, and even long range. Yeah, so Stug, man, dude, Stug will be able to reliably pen Shermans and stuff like that, you know, at good ranges, which is good, so that's cool. Oh, how are we doing, everybody? Thank you, General JQ, thanks for 70 months, man. The patch should be dropping any minute now, I would imagine. I'm going to go for food first before we get into it. 2 months of sub. Thank you very much, Koa. Benna, cheers, buddy. Thanks so much. The Stormtrooper. Here we go. It's the elite infantry in tier 4 that the Wehrmacht can get. The armor has been increased by 0.25. It's going to be harder to hit. Overall DPS output increased by 30%, so they do more damage. G43, accuracy, 60, 61. They're just better with the G43s overall. G43s now properly reload after 10 rounds fired, not 9. LMG accuracy better as well. LMG will no longer spread damage on target squads, but instead focus on individual. Yeah, like the MG from Co 2 on normal Grens. Reinforcement cost has been increased by 1, so a little bit of a nerf, but overall, Stormtrooper way more worth getting late game. The Stug D, the short barrel one, that seems to be getting a buff. Yeah, Stug D better. Stummel. Auto fire range increased. Also, you can actually shoot further now, which is good by 5. Auto phenomenon removed, so they can shoot literally directly in front of itself now. Area effect, so it does a bit more AoE damage as well. Nice. Area effect damage increased 33. Yeah, overall. Hey. Increased. Okay, pretty good. Penetration for barrage, all fired standards at 20. The Brumbar, build times 10 seconds faster, bit cheaper in terms of it's 10 fuel cheaper. Rotation rate, so it'll turn and shoot faster. Reload time as well, considerably quicker, about 2 seconds faster. Nice. Speed increase as well. So Brumbar, interesting. Brumbar might be more worth getting. Then the Wesp, the artillery. Barrage recharge time reduced from 60 to 45 seconds. Creeping barrage recharge time reduced. Okay, so that's only 45. So the West actually fires a lot. 15 seconds. That's actually firing a barrage every 45 seconds on the West. That might be a bit broken, actually. But there you go. West getting a bit of a buff there. Right, the breakthrough. Command point cost. The Panzer command tank has gone down from 4 to 2. So you better get that out faster. Luftwaffe. The LG Paradrop reserve entry abilities are now interchanged in the battle group tree. Interesting. Okay. I think if I need to... Hang on, I need to figure out where that... I'll have to check to see where that is, but that's interesting. Falls are more expensive by 40 manpower. So is the Pioneers. They're 20 manpower more. Recharge times also increased by 15 seconds, so you can't spam them as much as you normally would in the opening of a match. The Rad, a little bit cheaper, from 3 to 2. Stormtrooper 2 to 1, Stug D 4 to 3, mechanized munitions cost is 8, gone up by 40. On to the Brits. Okay, God man, and I think are we halfway? Yeah, we're halfway through. Although it doesn't seem there's too many changes to Brits. Excuse me. Right, barrage. Charge time from 30 to 45 seconds. Yeah, the Bishop used to be able to shoot every 30 seconds, so it's now standard because it matches the Wesp firing speed now. I probably needed the Bishop was literally fired constantly, which is crazy. Definitely, I think that was a fair nerf there. The build time for this artillery has also been decreased massively by 30 seconds, which is good because I was surprised about how long it took to build this, so that's a good change. The Centaur. So this is the long projectile kind of HE round thing. Not completely different to the Centaur from Code 2, which was a AA unit. Area effect radius increased from 4 to 6. Cost decreased. Yeah. 20 manpower cheaper and 5 fuel cheaper. It's horizontal traverse speed. Okay, so it's twice as fast now with the horizontal traverse, which is probably much needed there. So we got to get the shots off faster. Same thing with the reload speed as well. Smoke shot ability only fires 1 round, and speed's been increased. So yeah, good buff to the sensor, probably needed. The CMP truck, the AA variant, anti-aircraft range bonus from 600% to 1000%. That looks like a huge buff, and it kind of is, and it's probably will make it so that actually will be able to shoot down planes now, because it kind of didn't even though it was supposed to. So that's now actually going to be decent at shooting down. Apparently the patch is ready. Thing is though, if I update my game, I will drop frames. So let me just get through the notes and I'll start updating my game. 50% extra damage against aircraft as well, just in general, so good. So it's gonna be hopefully now reliably against shooting down planes. It'll be a cheap AA option for the Brits now. Commandos, manpower cost, the LMG section is now 30 manpower cheaper, and also doesn't take as much population cap, down from 9 to 8. Commandos for reinforcement costs from 40 to 31. 9 manpower cheaper to reinforce commandos. So it might be viable to actually get a couple of commando squads potentially now in your build order. The Crusader fuel is now 10 fuel better. It just says, it doesn't say which variant. I imagine it's just the standard variant in tier 4. So it's 10 fuel more expensive. Is that fair? I would say so. It is a pretty good tank for how much it costs. The Dingo coordinate barrage range decreased from 60 to 45. So it's got to get closer before it can drop that off. It's decreased the cost though by 10. I thought it was really good. The medical supply durations from 15 to 45, so you better use it, heal your troops more. And the recharge time has also been decreased from 3 minutes to 2. So you'll be able to use the Dingo as a kind of like a healing thing. You might want to pull back to your base. You want to keep the Dingo alive for that healing. So you might be able to skip going for instance, your medical, your triage building or whatever, or even upgrading a CMP truck to the med truck kind of thing. You might be able to get away with going with the dingo for your healing now. The infantry section base of fire, passive, reserve ability now requires units to be in cover to activate. Okay. Similar to what the Co 2 Brits have. They get that buff when they were in cover, when they coordinate barrage has also been reduced by 10 munitions. Matilda, reduced by 1 pop. Build time of Royal Engineers gone up by 4 seconds. Okay. I mean, there's a little bit of a nerf there, but it doesn't actually nerf their actual combat potential, which I'm surprised. I thought they might have nerfed their damage just slightly, but no, they haven't. The training center upgrade. Combat bonuses now only apply once the units with at least 1 level of veterancy. Damage bonuses from all upgrades removed. Upgrades no longer stacks per infantry level. It's now consistent 10%. It's only applied once. Oh, right. So beforehand, it sounded like each level of veterancy would have given it a 10% bonus. So it could have got up to 30% bonus. So now it'll only just have 10. So overall, it's all the training upgrades for across the whole of Brits. All their kind of upgrades kind of getting a bit of a nerf. Interesting. That's a pretty big nerf to the Brits. But yeah, probably needed to because Brits were winning a lot of the matches. So I'll see if Brits will be a bit more balanced now. The Vickers is now 30 seconds to build, so I encourage you to build the Vickers a bit more. Huge nerf. British Forces Battle Group ANC Typhoon Loiter Command Point 3 to 5 costs more, so that Loiter costs a bit more. The bombing runs also cost more, 2 more CP. Naval Blockade. Duration reduced from 60 to 30 seconds. Munition has also been, but it's cheaper though, so you might be more tempted to use it potentially. The Black Prince has been increased by 1 CP, so it's going to come out a bit later. The Indian Artillery, Warcry, and Volunteer Infantry position swapped. Command points costs remain the same. Why have they changed that? Mid to late game option that requires players to commit to the end of the battle group tree. Right, okay. Normally you want volunteer infantry because I think that was the you'd want that. Does that mean you'll be able to get the Valor upgrade instead? As well as long because I think the volunteer infantry is what, isn't it, the 25% reinforcement cost reduction, isn't it? So you'll also, so I think you might be able to go for this and also go for the other thing rather than the Warcry, which was the first ability. Unless I'm thinking of something else, I need to check it. I can't remember the abilities and the tech tree off the top of my head. I'll have to look. The cost increased. It actually costs 20 fuel now to get the 4.2-inch mortar. I mean, this is going to nerf Brits fuel, but it is a very good mortar, so I don't know. Perimeter monitor cost has increased by 75 munitions as well. That's huge. Okay, lots of nerfs to the Brits, really, but okay. Africa Corps, 250. To the 20 autocannon conversion cost has been reduced by 50 munitions. Build time also reduced by 5 seconds, so you better get it a little bit faster. So you can build this unit at the immediate start of a match. You better get it 5 seconds quicker. The distribute medical duration increased from 15 to 45 seconds, thank God, and its recharge time has been reduced by a minute, which is huge. Thank God, because sometimes I would skip going the Opal Blitz med truck kind of thing, and just use the 250 when I called in my Panzergrenadiers, for instance. Now it'll be, if I keep it alive, it'll be a lot better at doing the healing. So that's some good. I think it's very similar to the change to the Dingo. Right, advanced field repairs. Manpower cost reduced from 250 to 200. Okay, that's a big buff to that. Booby trap armor reduced from 35 to 1. Emergency repair manpower cost increased from 250 to... Okay, emergency repairs. So overall, that's a 7. So you're spending an extra 25 manpower if you get, if you're looking at the upgrade costs here. Because these are the things, advanced field repairs and the emergency repair kits, I think were the 2 upgrades in the armory that you would get. No, it was smoke bombs, no. So which one? No, advanced field repairs. I think, no, so that's the upgrade for your infantry, right? You'd spend that for your infantry so you can repair faster on the battlefield. So you might go for that. And this is the upgrade. This also increases the emergency repair kits. I'm pretty sure is the automatic repair on your DAC vehicles. So that is now 75 manpower more expensive. I think that's okay, to be fair. It is a very good upgrade. And It's the auto heal out of combat now. Yeah. Also increases their armor as well. But it's cheaper now to get to repair from your infantry. So if you go Panzer Pioneers, I don't know. It's interesting. We'll have to see how it works, but I think overall it's okay. Fire support elements. So this is the I think this is the upgrade to make your 250 into a 221. You know, the autocannon upgrade or the mortar half track variant. I think. So that is now 50 manpower cheaper and 5 fuel cheaper as well. I think. No, chat's saying no. Actually, now I'm looking at how it's 45. No, it doesn't cost that much fuel. What is that then? Fire support elements. Which one's that, guys? Is the... Oh, that's the one to get the Stug upgrade. Sorry. I think, right? Is it the Stug upgrade? Oh, no. Oh, it's the flat verveling and the IG. Okay. Fire support elements. Okay. Because... Well, that's good then. That allows you to get the flat verveling out faster as well. So that's a good buff there to DAC. I think that's one. Because there isn't... Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Because you've got the fire support elements in the 1. But you've also got it in tier 2 as well, haven't you? So you can get the Stug. But it's a different upgrade, isn't it? It's not called fire support elements. Yeah, okay. So this makes it more... You'll be able to get the flat verveling out maybe a bit faster. And also get access to your anti-tank gun a bit quicker, I think, as well. Build time increased by 15 seconds. Okay, not sure why that was needed, but okay, I guess it standardized it maybe from that compared to the other factions. Here we go, the flat verveling. Accuracy increased. 4%. Yep, 7%. Okay, so decent accuracy increase from the flat verveling. Angle scatter, reduced the scatter massively though, to from 8 to 3. Burst duration, 1.75. It's gonna fire for a lot longer. Weapon cooldown also shoots faster. Long range multiply increased. Okay, so I think it'll take longer to shoot at further distance though, to make up for the fact that it has just a general cooldown. Okay, so yeah, overall buff I would say to flat verveling. Gustatory, anti-tank satchel ability removed. Manpower cost is gone, so they're 40 manpower cheaper again. Now we'll be able to plant regular mines. Okay. It's a shame they removed the anti-tank satchel ability. That no other unit, I don't think... Can any other unit from the DAC have an anti-tank satchel? The gas mask ability now requires Vet 1. So this was the ability, I think, when there was smoke, they would get a little bit of a sprint going. So they now need actually Vet 1 to benefit from that, I think. Okay, so now you'll be able to get really close and personal against the Gustatory, even if they're vetted with vehicles. But okay. The motorcycle team, build time. 5 seconds faster. The L640, I think these are the really bad little light tanks, aren't they? Pushing this unit towards a low health vehicle that is immune to heavy machine gun small arms. Armors have been increased by a little bit. Flamethrower munition cost as well has been reduced. Okay, this might make them a little bit more viable. They're a little bit better armor. Not much better armor, but hey. Better max, medium and longer ranges as well. Especially that medium range is big as well. So yeah, medium and long range, not bad. LEIG is a bit faster build. Build MG 30 seconds. The anti-tank gun has been reduced to 260, 30 cheaper. Okay, the tear shot gets to be no longer creates by phosphorus cloud explosion. The performance is unaffected. Why have they removed that? Because does that mean the cloud explosion effect? Does it still block line of sight or whatever? It says the performance is unaffected, so I imagine they just removed that effect for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it was a buggy or something. Panzergrenadiers are now 5 seconds faster to build. So you'll be able to get your Panzergrenadiers out on the field quite a bit faster, actually, which is nice. Rapid advance, cost increase, 250 to 325. Stug D, here we go. Increase, it's increase. Rotation again. Some buffs to the Stug D. Support range. Okay, they've nerfed its support, when it's hold down to 45. 15 range. Oof. This would mean that the anti-tank guns will fare a lot better against the Stug D, because Stug D's got to get a lot closer to benefit with this ability to hit those anti-tank guns. No, I think it's okay. I think the Slug D, its range was a bit too good. Hasn't mentioned here that it's changed the MG's firing though. The MG used to be able to fire the pintle machine gun used to be able to fire at 60 range, and it still looks like it's going to be no change on the mention of the MG. So the MG should also still fire up to 45, I imagine. Tungsten round damage bonus removed. Penetration bonus increased from 20 to 25%. So much better chance of penetrating armor. Well, I'm not really much better, but hey, 25. But no extra damage, y'all. Don't do extra damage then. So there's no point buying this ability if you're pretty much guaranteed to pen all the time against the vehicles that you're fighting. So maybe against something like a Churchill's or something, yeah, this will be better. Some heavier armor, but against medium armor to light vehicles, you probably won't even need to get the tungsten then. The vehicle survival patch has been nerfed. It's a big nerf here. Health bonus from 80 to 40. So this is the first upgrade that you'd buff up your armor. So overall, you can only buff, because the second upgrade, the emergency repairs, also gave you plus 80. So now overall, all their upgrade. In total, in previous you'd be able to get 160. Now it's going to be 120 with the upgrades on health. I think overall that's fair. I guess we'll have to see, but it did seem like Dak would be able to spam vehicles. They would scale way too good. They'll be able to get cheap vehicles, and all their armor would be a lot tankier thanks to their extra health bonuses. Right, the Africa. Oh, we're almost here. Finished here. The armor support, assault salvage command point from 3 to 2, Panzer 3, flame tank 3 to 4. 3 to 2. Yeah, the flame tank did feel like it came out quite fast, actually. From 3 to 4 is pretty fair. Superior fire drills, 2-1. Super accident line 3 to 5. That comes out later on in the game. Veteran gunners, 2 to 1. Should probably get them out a bit faster. Italian command force, recon command point, 2 to 1. Secure location, 2 to 1 as well. That's been nerfed. Okay. Interesting. That's quite a decent. Sorry, buff. Sorry, I would say to that commander, so you'll be able to get them out faster. Those things. So you'll be able. I would have to double check that. But I think if force recon secure locations, is that the Bersaglieri left side of the tree? It's the two abilities on the right side and the left side of the tree, if you know what I mean. Because the left tree, you'd get the MG upgrade and the man increase, right? And this is the other stuff on the right side of that. So if you're not going for the Bersaglieri upgrades, you'll be able to get these out a lot quicker, and that would mean you'd be able to get Karas out faster. If I've got that in my head, I would have to again double check. But I think that's the case. Dingo's been fixed with the training sensor. Fixation with Mars will take additional damage on rear hits. Okay, the armor provides armor bug now seems to apply correctly, which is good. Mines would not suppress treating units. Mines would produce, yeah, because I noticed that. That's good. Good fix there. Paratroopers combined arms. Carbines did not ignore cover at short range. Paratroopers would be better at close range now because they had a bug. Cycling correctly. Grenade had minimum range. Training center would not apply. Wehrmacht rad, not sure the same mobilities or can stats. White phosphor rounds for the MG42 would cause a blind effect on vehicles. G3 was not providing the correct bonus to any tank guns. Regal mines down. Okay, right. Well, that's it. Okay, I think that's some good overall. Good changes. Brit's getting mainly a nerf there, but I don't think getting too much of a nerf. I'm looking forward to seeing giving this a go, giving this testing out. Right, so I'm gonna. Hopefully, I need to. So, guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. Catch you in the next video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.